Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast. Welcome to all of you here together with us today. And welcome to all of you who are watching online, whether it's today or in the future. We are so glad you're here to celebrate with us. We celebrate every week, but especially we're celebrating today. For this is a special time of year. A time of year when we celebrate the light, and what better place is there to celebrate the light than this gorgeous light that we have in South Florida that just shines so brightly. It's like it's illuminating everything all the time. And we have wonderful time for you today with Theresa giving a talk and with Matthew providing his fabulous music. And so allow me to gather you in as we come together in prayer and we light a candle. And what an appropriate thing to be doing, because this time of year, so many people of so many traditions are lighting a candle. A reminder of that light that burns within, that is always shining through us, as us. A reminder of so many things in different traditions, that lighting of the candle, a sacred act, a metaphor. The light that refuses to go out. And we have to allow it to shine. And so just know together that we are gathered in this place, this sacred place. Everywhere we are is sacred space. But today we honor with intention that we are gathered for sacred purpose, to know our best and highest possibility, to be reminded of the light that burns bright within each and every one of us. And so we come together with thanksgiving, with a sense of releasing and letting go of anything that gets in the way of knowing our truest and highest self, that best and brightest, the source that is always present. To know that the highest possibility is there for us now, waiting to be shown through us, waiting to be shared with others. May each and every one of us absorb the best and highest of today and take it into the world as we go out later. For we are the light. For we are the highest possibility. For we are love in action. For we are wise and we are intelligent. We are individual expressions of the divine. And we're so grateful to be reminded of this. I'm so grateful of the community that we have, where we can come together and celebrate it and know it more fully. This is our truth, and we're so grateful to know it, and we let it be so. And I release this into prayer, and so it is. Matthew.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing today? Good to see you. It's been too long. I missed you guys. It's been a while. I'm going to start with the instrumental tune. It reminds me of the solstice. It's a tune older than rhyme, as Beauty and the Beast would say. Tales as old as time. You know, this one, I think, was called Green Sleeves at first. I'm sure it's older than that even, and then they turned it into a Christmas song eventually. But you'll all know it, I think. So I want to play this one first, and this is my own version, and trying to conjure up something kind of ancient here, like picture myself in some sort of ancient music setting and tap into that a little bit. Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Thank you, Matthew. Lovely. So I'm Julie Birch, a licensed practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, and it is my pleasure to also be your reader for today. I also want to call your attention to these gorgeous pictures that were on your seats, a gift to you from CSL. Reverend Theresa was divinely guided to take the collages that were created last week and copy them and share them with you. So I just want to celebrate the artists who made these. They're gorgeous, and celebrate Reverend Teresa's divine guidance that she could make these for us. She'll probably have something more to say about that. So allow me to be your reader today and to share with you. Some of you may remember the Center for Positive Living. And back in the 90s, when I attended there, we would often have a reading during the service. And I took that reading, which some of you may recognize, and I adapted and expanded it for our reading this morning. I am a point of being within the Spirit of God, rooted deeply in eternal presence that flows through all life. I am held and nurtured by boundless Spirit that lovingly sustains the universe. I am a point of consciousness within the mind of God. Clarity and divine wisdom illuminate my thoughts, guiding me toward truth, understanding, and inspired action. I am a point of love within the heart of God. Vibrant compassion flows through me as I behold the sacredness of all. Whatever God is, I am. I embody this holy presence now and always, allowing the divine essence to shine forth through all that I am and do. For as the Christ child was born in Mary, it is born in all of us, the Christus, God, source, in, as, and through us. We welcome this awareness of our essential divine nature as expressions of the divine. As winter solstice marks the profound turning of the year, so too do we celebrate the sacred turning, the moment of light dispelling darkness. Like the solstice fire rituals that kindle hope, we kindle the light of divine spirit within. In harmony with the lights of Hanukkah, we affirm the miracle of enduring light triumphing over darkness. And with the Advent candles glowing brighter every week, we welcome the unfolding of peace, hope, joy, and love, preparing our hearts for the sacred birth. As Christmas approaches, let us rejoice in the coming of the realization of the Christ light within us, the divine incarnation that is always ready, seeking to express boundless goodwill to all. Thank you.
Check. All right, before I forget, because I will forget to promote anything that I do, which is terrible, but I always forget to promote. I have an album I just released on Spotify, and I believe it's on Apple Music and Amazon Music and most of the big streaming services. I'm still gonna, I haven't put it on YouTube yet, but if you're into Spotify, check it out. Most people, you can listen to it for free on Spotify, but it should be on Apple, like many of them. But it's called Future Memories. It's a 10-song original album that I put out, and I've played every one of those 10 songs at this place, at this center, some of them countless times, others just once, but everyone has been played here. It's in some theme or another, and so this is just 10 of my songs, and it deals with a lot with memories, the power of memories, the in dreams, like remembering dreams. There's songs about dreams. There's and then there's just like memories of my own that were sacred to me, that made me who I am. And so it's focuses a lot on different kinds of memories. It's kind of and it's called Future Memories, and that is one of the songs. So check it out. If you listen to Spotify at all, it's just type in my name, Matthew Frost, and Future Memories is the album, and it should come up with the 10 songs there. So appreciate if you listen to that, because I think you'll recognize some of the songs that I do here. But right now I'm going to play another one that just reminds me of the solstice kind of thing. I don't think this one's as ancient as the last one, but it's become I think it will be someday. Check it out. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Have you heard God yet? Yeah? Yeah? Have you felt it? Yeah. Oh, boy. I'm moved. I'm really moved. I've missed you. I've missed you. So, if you read the blog, you know my talk title this morning is From Being Watched to Being Awake. From being watched to being awake, evolving our Christmas rituals. I would imagine that many of you, your parents kind of use the Santa card around this time of year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Uh-huh. You better watch out. Uh-huh, because he's watching you. He's watching you. You better be good. Naughty girls, don't get presents under the tree. Yeah, there's those watchful eyes during Christmas, right? And I would imagine your parents pulled that, and I would imagine you did as well with your children. Yeah? Uh-huh. Yeah, maybe so. Well, I got a call last week from my daughter, and she said, "Oh, God, Mom, I don't know. We're so wicked. I just don't know. I feel so bad about this." But last night, so Cora's 3. She's got a big girl bed now, you know, no rails on it. So she's in and out and in and out and in and out. And they look on the camera, and she's out of the bed. She's behind the door. And let's just say my son-in-law donned a persona over the microphone on that camera system that we now have for children, where they're never, ever without, outside of our eyesight. "Cora, this is Santa." So Carly calls me the next morning and is like, "Oh my God, I don't know, are we wicked? This was funny, but I don't know, I feel really bad." She jumped in the bed, put the covers over her head, and they found her that way in the morning. She didn't move. So that, my dear friends, is how rituals and traditions survive. Because they work. Sometimes they work. But while they may be effective, I want us to look today at, are they true? Are they correct? Are they good for us? Are they our highest and best self? And this is without any condemnation of my daughter, because I did it to her. My mother did it to me. This is what we know, right? This is what we know. But if these rituals don't align with our highest and best selves, our highest and best good, then what are we going to do about it? Right? What are we going to do about it? Last week, it seems like it was a whole year ago, 7 days ago, I stood here and talked about miracles. What are miracles? They're a shift in consciousness that we don't go back to, ever. That we're done with that, and we have now a new perspective. It can happen instantaneous. That's what I consider a miracle. So and I think that's what Carly was wrestling with that morning when she called me. So back in 2021, my Christmas message here was kind of a history lesson of earth-based pagan rituals that really were the precursor to Christmas. And I don't want to repeat all of that, but I do want to reflect upon some of that this morning in this theme around rituals that we've been doing all month. And maybe I can offer some encouragement or permission for us to modify so that our rituals are spiritually feeding us, so that they're spiritually true for us. I believe rituals can adapt to the seasons of our lives. And I believe that they should keep up with our own changes. So long before Santa Claus, or even before Santa Claus, that jolly figure of Santa Claus that we have in our mind, there was St. Nicholas. And long before St. Nicholas, there was this dude called Odin. Odin. He was to be feared. Odin. Yeah, Odin was out there zooming around in the sky, watching everyone's behavior, judging that behavior, and deciding who was worthy and who was not worthy, right? So this watcher, Odin, was a Norse god. And he was determining literally who was going to prosper the next year or who would perish. So again, he was feared, you know. And people's behavior was motivated by this external surveillance from above. Kind of sounds like the God I grew up with. Maybe you resonate with that a little bit. And this isn't about theology this morning as much as it is about consciousness, as much as it is about our growth in consciousness, as much as it is about our awareness and our ability to perceive what's going on from a different place. Right? From a different place. So this idea of Santa has that same sky imagery. It has the same judginess. I mean, heck, he's, making a list. He's going to check it again, right before he's getting ready to come down the chimney, right? And it's, your behavior, the reward or punishment, reward or punishment. So you had better be good. You'd better be good. Well, what is the message there that we're sending to our children or to each other or ourselves? And is that the message that we really want to be telling our tender selves? Is it the message? Is this the time of year that we want to know for judging ourselves? At the end of the year, we're going to, take stock. How did I do this year? Oh, shit. Oh my God. Oh, that was embarrassing. Is that what we want this time of year to be? I don't. I want to be done with that. So there's an evolutionary point here, right? That was 1,500 years ago. 1,500 years ago. And we are still often influenced by that. Wowie, huh? Wow. That's kind of amazing, isn't it? Yeah, be good so you don't get punished, Behavior shaped by fear. Worthiness is conditional. Maybe we can reclaim this idea of Santa, huh? And maybe the idea of Santa doesn't have anything to do with anybody in a red suit or anybody anywhere. It's an internal spiritual compass. How about that? Can we rename and reclaim that idea as an internal spiritual compass? What if Santa or God or the Creator or creative intelligence or whatever you want to call that isn't watching us from the sky, but is instead right here, right now, awakening something within us? What if that's what it is? It's awakening something within us. So then naughty or nice becomes conscious or unconscious. Conscious or unconscious. The list becomes just our self-awareness, our gentle self-awareness. And the gift? Love. The gift's always love, right? The gift is always love. The gift is being in alignment with love. So does that feel like love? Oh, no, let me bring it back into alignment, right? So the invitation becomes not about behaving, but being in alignment and living that way and making choices from that place. So the question is not, am I being watched, but am I being true? Am I being true to my highest self? To the highest thing I know about this thing called life. That's then what it becomes for us. So I believe that we can elevate our holiday rituals, and I'm going to encourage us to do that. So how about the idea of the Christmas tree? It can symbolize remembering life. Remembering life. And it's not just a solstice then a symbolism from ancient days, because that's when we really started using the evergreen, but it becomes a daily practice beyond December. January, February, into April and May and June, you know? So Bobby and I decided that we weren't putting up a Christmas tree this year. We weren't going to do any decorating this year. It's been a tough year. It was a tough year. It was physically a hard year for Bobby, and it was emotionally a hard year for both of us. It was daily calling us to be in a different way of being for months and months and months. It was calling us to not be habitual, but being intentional, right? So it just felt right to make a different choice this year for ourselves, you know, instead of rushing to get everything looking great in the house, you know. So we're going to walk the beach, we're going to go to the movies, we're going to eat out, we're just going to do what pleases us, right, in those moments. But there is something that we can ritualistically acknowledge around the Christmas tree, even though we don't have one up in the house. So what we've decided to do, what I started doing, and I shared it with Bobby, and so we're doing this, is when we go out and do our morning walk, which we usually don't do that one together. On Mondays we do. I'm stopping at the trees. We have beautiful trees in our park in Bentry, so they're gorgeous. And I stop and I hug them, I touch them, I commune with the trees, I'm present with them, thanking them for their beauty, thanking them for their oxygen, recognizing the nature of the tree, recognizing that life persists even when the nights are long, right? So Ernest Holmes said, "The greatest good which our mind is able to conceive should be affirmed as part of our everyday experience. From such daily meditation, we should venture forth into a life of action with the will to do, the determination to be, and a joy in becoming." This is a time of becoming, this time of year. I love that. So we can have an everyday alignment practice around trees. Try it out. Something new, you know? Pause, breathe, notice, reflect, and name one thing that is alive in you, that is still alive in you, and good in you. That's my call. And if you did put up a tree and you do have ornaments on the tree, well, let's talk about ornaments. Ornaments carry stories, do they not? They're not just decoration. Probably every ornament on your tree has a message for you. Think about it. Do you like that message? Does that message need to be updated? Are you in tune with that message today? Is that an old message? How do you feel about that? What's the energy around those ornaments? Think about it, right? Because those ornaments are a testimony to something, joy, loss, love, loss. What is it? Inherited ornaments, an obligation to put them up. Think about it. Hey, we're big people here. We're grown-ups. We make our choices, don't we? So how about an everyday alignment practice that we allow the memories within us, the memories that we carry, thank you, Matthew, right on point, that instead of them hardening you, allow them to soften you. And there are practical ways to do that. We reframe, we rewrite that story. And you can do it through journaling, you can do it through meditation. Hold that ornament. If there's some energy around it, hold it. Ask yourself questions. And reframe if you need to. Toss it if you can't. Toss it if you can't. You know, candles used to be put on the Christmas tree. Holy cow. They lit, I mean, we wouldn't do that today, right? I'm talking about updating our rituals here. We learned at some point that was not a good idea. Now, of course, first, it started to be outside, but then they started doing that inside, too, putting lit candles on their Christmas trees. Now, as Julie said, this month particularly, we really do a lot of candle lighting. And we talked about that last week as well as one of the ways to open ourselves to invite miracles. Because candles are cleansing, they're purifying, and they do make way. They signify a shift, a change in awareness or a change in time. You know? So, we can choose awareness. We can choose light. We can choose something different. But that practice, again, of putting candles on the Christmas tree was 1,600 years ago, or so. 1,600 years ago. So again, rituals can shift, but meaning remains. Meaning always remains in our rituals. So what I'm calling you to do is just become aware, because you name the meaning. It doesn't have to be the same meaning that maybe you inherited, right? You name the meaning. You name the meaning. So in everyday practice, how about if we light a candle before reacting? Or we light a candle before scrolling and texting or rushing, or that we light a candle in the way of cleansing ourselves from things about the holiday season that feel rushed and pressured and pushed. Maybe we can do that with a candle this year, something different. And gifts, circulation of good, that's always involved in Christmas, isn't it? Gifts, a circulation of good. But it's not just about giving stuff, is it? It's never just about giving stuff. And it most often is about affirming worth. When we're mindful about it, it's about affirming worth. To me, that was part of what came to me about having these cards on your seat. That we were all creating these cards in Julie's workshop last week for ourselves. We were being drawn to an affirmation, to a picture, to an image, to an idea that was stirring something in our hearts. But what we want to recognize is we don't want that just for ourselves, right? Don't we want that for others? And so the things that we chose for ourselves last week became blessings to you, to each one of you. I mean, I doubt anybody sat down at a chair at one that they made. So I don't know how many people we had, 20 people in the workshop or so. Those 20 people have been gifted this blessing, this prayer along to you today. Isn't that sweet? I love that idea. We can be mindful about what we circulate then. Last week I talked about gratitude and graciousness and grace and generosity as being part of miracle making as well. So when we give from that place, we're making a great space between ourselves, between the person receiving. Again, in Science of Mind, we're taught, and Ernest Holmes wrote, to carry peace, love, and givingness to everyone is the meaning of Christmas. To carry peace, love, and givingness to everyone is the meaning of Christmas. To feel that we are all part of the divine offering. Love that. You are part of the divine offering. You are. Each one of us are. We are part of the divine offering. So he says to feel that, to know that, to recognize that, to really be in that is to enter into the spirit of the birth of Christ in the human mind and heart. Well, that's what I want for all of us. It's what I want for everyone. So gratitude again then, and graciousness and generosity can be practiced every day, not just during the holy days, but every day, and not just around being polite, you know, but being in alignment, like truly recognizing the divinity in the person in front of you, that you're maybe just opening a door for, going into the store or whatever. But to be in that atmosphere and graciousness of heart. Giving without keeping score. Just of a pure generosity. I think, you know, like I said a minute ago, that ritual is really about who we're becoming too, and around Christmas, it's definitely so. So the virgin birth, Immaculate Conception. And again, it's not theoretical. Historically, there were loads of virgin births prior to Jesus. Lots of them. If you read mythology, that was not a new idea with Jesus. And we can see that as an eternal symbol of the purity of newness and birth and new consciousness, fresh consciousness. The Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Hindus, I mean, was around for many, many years, right? But when consciousness evolves, I think our rituals can evolve too. And I encourage us individually and collectively to look at that. So Ernest Holmes again taught the Immaculate Conception. He's talking about what that symbolizes, and he says it symbolizes the originating creative principle of life. We would call it the creative intelligence. That intelligence which is around us all the time. It's in us. It's that thing that's always pushing to grow and expand and explore and to discover, right? It's that seed that is forever, eternally growing, operating through all things. And I used this last week as well in how we open to miracles is treatment. This idea that we uniquely use in the science of mind philosophy is treatment. I think it's a modern ritual for remembering truth, for aligning ourselves. It's that conscious use of creative intelligence or aligning with source. And this kind of Christmas, using that, this kind of Christmas survives anything, right? It survives every season. So again, it's not about being watched. It's about becoming awake. It's not about being forced. It's about aligning. Choice. It's not about fear. It's about promise. Promise. And perhaps, I'm thinking, that's what the rituals have always been trying to tell us. Trying to bring us back in. Bring us back in. You know, originally, the trees, the fire, the light, you know, the celebration, the festivities, the harvest, you know, using what had been harvest, all of that was because of the promise of what was coming. At the darkest times, at the coldest times, it was because of what was coming, right? That's a promise. And we participate in that. That's the real climax here. We participate in that. We participate in that. So solstice, rituals of solstice and Hanukkah and Christmas were born in dark seasons, literally and metaphorically, right? Both. And they helped our ancestors remember, and they've helped us remember, and over time, some of those forms have changed, but the function remains. So then I ask you, what meaning do you give to these rituals today? Your own personal meaning for the rituals in your life at this time of year, because consciously, you decide. right? Consciously, you determine which rituals will survive and why they do. And you can claim it for yourself right here, right now. Yeah? And consciously, you choose what you give birth to this holiday season. Consciously, you choose. I love those ideas. So next week, we are going to burn whatever maybe has stood in the way. And then the following week, we're going to step into that fullness, okay? Are you with me? Yeah? Does anybody think they have a ritual that they want to change? Just a couple maybe that you can add some new life to, some new energy, a new idea, a new perspective, some new vigor? I certainly hope so. Happy holidays.
Right. I feel like I've done this one before, but I love it. It's my favorite Christmas song, one of my favorite, but I know that I talked to Diana last year. I think that this is her favorite song, so playing it for Diana too here, and I think she knows the meaning as much as me. This it's called "The Little Drummer Boy," and it's a super simple tune. I like to play the piano like a drum because it is actually a percussion instrument, so I kind of do my own drum version of this. But the drummer boy was just a humble, poor kid. He had nothing to offer the newborn baby Jesus, but he offered the only thing he had, which was just his talent, his music, or of playing the drum. I love that. Just like Diana, you offer your skills, the painting skills and your carpentry skills to folks around town, and we all have to find our drummer boy thing that we have to offer, and so I love playing this one every year. Check it out.
Jerome. Oh, my Jerome. Oh, my Jerome. Mary Nightingale. The ox and lamb kept time, rum pum pum pum. I played my drum for it, rum pum pum pum. I played my best for it, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum. Then he smiled at me. Me and my Jerome. Come, they told me, rum pum pum pum. A newborn king to see, rum pum pum pum. I'll find this gift we bring, rum pum pum pum. To lay before a king, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum. So to honor him, rum pum pum pum. Me and my Jerome, 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 me and my Jerome. Me and my drum. Soon then he smiled at me, rum pum pum pum. Me and my Jerome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. Wow. Oh, and speaking of gifts, it's that time when we give of ourselves. We give our gifts. We give our time, talent, and our treasure. And it is our pleasure and honor to support the center that brings us music like this and messages like the one Theresa gave us today and the wonderful teaching of Science Mind. So please join me now and get out your gift. And if you give online, and if you are online, there are ways to give, but if you have your gift automatically deducted regularly, as I do, you can just put your hand over your heart, or you can take your gift and put it over your heart. And you can bless it, knowing that we are sharing this to go out in the world and support this message and to carry it out and to support others as an expression of the divine that is seeking to act through all of us. So join me now. in our song as we bless and release this gift.
I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
And we know that as we have given, we have released it out into the universe to multiply and come back to us and our center and to lift up the world. We bless it and we release it, and we are so grateful for this opportunity to be together and to share. And now I'd like to invite Lisa up for some announcements.
Good morning, good morning. We have lots of wonderful things again as usual. Any new first-timers here? First-timer? Please see one of the greeters, one of the greeters, and get your free gift and everything. Introduce yourself to Reverend Theresa. Stay after so we can get to know you a little bit more. Newsletters, everybody knows, has everything in it. Get the newsletter. It only comes out once a week. So we then have the practitioner of the day is Julie, wherever she went. She is our practitioner of the day. So if you need any little pick-me-up, you need somebody to hold space with you, need a little support, meet her over there at the screen. Our ongoing activities are Wednesday night Spiritual Living Circle with Jim Grove. It's at 7 p.m. on Zoom, free event. Once again, information on the newsletter and at the table. Friday nights, Reverend Diana's Heart, Mind, Spirit Recovery meeting. It's hybrid. It's in person and on Zoom at 7 p.m. every Friday. We do have a special event that Bobby and Reverend Theresa are doing on December 23rd. It is Blue Christmas. It's also going to be via Zoom. Please sign up for all the things on the table or with the newsletter. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event for everyone. We are working on a new place to meet for metaphysics and other neat stuff. We have something in the works, so that we're very excited about. We're hoping that it comes through. I'll know more next week. But we will be having it, as far as I know, I'm hoping January 5th is our next meeting. It is Joe Dispenza's From Panic to Peace. Julie is also continuing a workshop that is from, it's 3 more Mondays? Okay. And so that is at Tallywood and once again on the newsletter and at the table. And it is from yours is, I still don't get it. Anybody else hearing that? Okay. Let's see. We have then a new foundations class that Kathleen is going to be starting on January 6th. This is an updated new class. Fantastic. Highly, highly recommend it. January 11th and 10th and 11th, we have Bob Simon and Shannon Plummer. They will be here for service, and they will be doing a concert on Saturday the 10th. So that will be all-inclusive. The CSL convention, the early bird deadline ends January 7th. So if you guys want to get to do that and everything, please take advantage of that. Everything, once again, on the tables. Stay after for coffee and communion and celebration, and I think that's it. And Matthew, please continue. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
got the last song here. I think this one really goes along the lines of what Reverend Theresa was talking about today. And another person who I think understood it's time to make some new traditions. And if you feel like it in these chorus sections, sing with me. It's that John Lennon song, Merry Christmas, the War is Over. So at some point you'll sing the lyrics are, the war is over if you want it, the war is over now. But that's, that's a little bit later in the song. So let me kick it off here.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, a new one just begun. So this is Christmas, hope you have fun. The near and the dear ones, old and young, and a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. So this is Christmas, for weak and for strong, for rich and for poor ones. The world is so wrong. So happy Christmas, for black and for white, yellow and red ones. Let's stop the fight, and a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. Sing it with me. The war is over if you want it. The war is over now. War is over if you want it. The war is over now. So this is Christmas. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, a new one just begun. So happy Christmas, we hope you have fun. The dear ones, the old and the young. Sing this with me. And a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Ooh, let's hope it's a good one without any fear. Chorus one more time, man. War is over. If you want it, the war is over now. War is over. If you want it, the war is over now. So this is Christmas. And what have you done? Another year over. A new one just begun. And a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. Sing that with me right there. And a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thanks for being my choir. Thank you.